There was a survey recently done by resumetemplates.com, and 70% of managers say they feel like they are constantly babysitting Gen Z. This isn't going to be a whole big bash on Gen Z segment, I promise, because I don't think that necessarily Gen Z are the employees that need babysitting the most.
Ooh.
Hopefully you can help me prove that. The top things that managers are having to teach Gen Z employees: accepting feedback without taking it personally, interacting appropriately with clients and coworkers, multitasking, admitting mistakes professionally, and dressing appropriately for work.
Okay, most of those I can understand, but some of that's like, we're learning to navigate in the workforce. The first one about not taking criticism personally, is there also not a potential for growth in managers to maybe be better at giving feedback in a way that it isn't going to be taken so personally? Isn't that a skill that maybe managers could have?
It's kind of like chicken or the egg, though. Like, yes, maybe managers could be better at giving criticism, but also I think people could be better at accepting it. I know I'm very bad at taking criticism sometimes.
But haven't you, I've had a few managers that are very good at, they have that skill of being able to give criticism and you don't instantly take it personally. So to me, that's a sign of a good manager. Maybe you need some growth instead of throwing it all on me and saying, don't take it so personal.
Could be. I've only ever really managed people one time. It was whenever I was at my retail job, and I was like the head cashier guy. It was a good time in my life. I was very, very, very happy.
You were so important.
No, I was like a babysitter because it was all kids that I was having to manage. And I'll never forget, one day the store manager called me into his office to not yell at me, but scold me because he got a complaint about a male employee in my area of the store who yelled at a customer for going to the bathroom after they had cleaned the bathroom already.
He's like, I don't want to have to clean the bathroom again.
And the store manager thought it was me that yelled at the customer. And I was like, no, I would not have yelled at a customer for that. That's crazy.
That is.
So I knew exactly who it was. So I talked to the kid and I was like, hey, even if you clean the bathroom, you got to let the customer still use the bathroom. You don't want them to go on the floor, right? And the kid, Connor, he looked at me. He's like, yeah, so sorry about that. I understand. 5 minutes later, he had cleaned the bathroom. A customer was going to the bathroom. He screams across the store, the bathroom's closed!
No!
Like, come on, man!
We just had this conversation!
Literally. 601-995-1017. Who are you babysitting most at your job? Kenzie says, I am finding myself babysitting anyone between the ages of 35 to 50 because they are just so unwilling to learn technology.
Oh, see, I'm not expecting that from a 35-year-old.
Yeah, you say that, but I'm also like, if you want me to learn a piece of new technology, you're going to have to explain why it's better than the old piece of technology.
Oh, Adam, I don't like that. That's not a good feature.
Definitely don't have to like it, but that's how I am. Like, why do I have to spend my time learning something new? This text is interesting. I hate when HR managers hire young people who feel that deep cleaning is quote unquote unnecessary. So then I have to babysit their area to make sure it's stocked and decent, sometimes before the end of the shift.
Yeah, if it's retail, deep cleaning is important. We can't be just letting the store run amok and become disgusting. Nobody's going to buy anything anymore, and then you will not have a paycheck anymore.
So who's the person you have to babysit at work most? I hope I'm saying your name right. Kiyah, she texted us and said, as someone a part of the Gen Z and a teacher, I find myself having to babysit coworkers above the age of 40 because they are so used to teaching in the same style that they taught 10 plus years ago.
Yeah.
And learning styles update. Then that got me thinking about all the teachers that I had in school. Do you think you learned more from the younger or the older teachers? What teacher did you connect with better?
You know what? It was either the brand new teachers or it was the teachers who had been doing it so long. They had been through the changes. They realized that change was just a constant part. But those teachers right in the middle, who it's like they'd been teaching a while, they felt established, but they hadn't been there long enough to realize realize like you're going to be humbled in this career, they were the biggest jerks.
I think that's very interesting because don't they say that the average time somebody spends being a teacher for a career is only like 10 years?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know if that is 100% accurate, but I think it's close to that. And then that kind of separates the good from the bad, maybe. I don't know. And if they make it 20, 30 years being a teacher, it's like you're right. They've learned the updates.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite teacher ever was a teacher who had been teaching probably 30 years, something like that. But it was like she had just surrendered to the way it is. And it made her a great teacher because she was like, I'm not going to get involved with the drama. I'm going to rise above the drama.
Interesting.
Adam and Allison in the morning.